Shalom, shalom. Before we begin this video, all the praise, honor, and glory goes to Yall, Shemiah, Shabbat, Shemar, Kodash. The honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and sincere salutations to you hopeful elect Akim. So I'm going to just, and I normally don't go on his page, but through the Spirit, I just so happened to be on Vocab Malone's page because he was commenting on the elder apostle Tahara's page, so I just pressed on his page, and basically he's breaking down Obadiah, but he's being facetious, but in reality he knows that what he's saying is true, even though he's being a smart ass about it. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and let it play.
Yeah, he was the Jedi Knight, Obadiah. Okay, I'll take esoteric interpretation for 200 vocab. Well, you don't say. All right. I'm very glad you chose that one. That is actually a perfect one to end before we do our Q&A. Obadiah 1, 3, and 4. If you could go to the minor prophet Old Testament book of Obadiah, it's really small, so it's hard to find, but it's an important book. Did you know sometimes the prophets of God didn't just give oracles of judgment against the Israelites? Sometimes they said, hey, you nations over there, I got something for you. And they would launch and load at them as well, right? Obadiah is an example of that. It's a prophecy against Edom and Edomites, descendants of Esau, right? Descendants of Esau. All right, so while you're turning there, you'll see. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because I have another version of this that's not the whole Jeopardy thing, where I just show pictures of these guys dressed up. I explain the different camps. I break down their whole history. You get lost in the 60s and all this kind of stuff. And then I'll go to some of their doctrines and beliefs and all that. I said, let's switch that up. I'm going to really, the thing I like about cults that use the Bible is I get to read the Bible. I get to go to the Bible. So I hope and I pray, even if you're like, you get to learn some Bible today. And that can never be a bad thing. So thank God for making Hebrew Israelites so we can learn about Obadiah more, right? And I'm serious. I really mean that. That's why I did it this way. There was a reason. So here we're on Obadiah 1, 3, and 4. And now, here, let me break something down real quick. I got to explain this. Okay. You get othered, now it's time to other the other. Who's the main person othering us? So-called white man. So-called because he's really red, because he's a descendant of Esau, because Esau's red. That's not really true stuff, but that's what they say. Who are modern-day Europeans? They're not really Europeans. They like to rename themselves to hide their identity. We know white people like to redefine stuff, don't they? They're Edomites. They want to hide their identity. They know they're Edomites. In fact, Esau was red and hairy. Haven't you seen a bunch of red and hairy white guys at the beach? They're red and hairy. It's Esau. He loved to hunt. White people love to hunt. They'll sit in the tree for 2 days just to get a turkey. Clearly, it's Esau.
That's right.
Right? And he liked our women. What did he do? Married women from Egypt. Now, since we have a prophecy against Esau and the Edomites in Obadiah, you know it's going to get used. Now, got to stop here for a second. Moderates say white folks are descendants of Japheth. And actually, this is all speculation, really.
Actually, that's false, man. And see, the thing about Vocab is Vocab has watched so many videos, from the different sincere brothers of Great Millstone and the men that are sincere, men that are the understudies of the elder apostles of Great Millstone. At this point, he knows a good bit of the breakdowns just by watching the videos, although he doesn't know how to go into it and how to interpret it. The way that he's saying this, even though he's being facetious, even though he's trying to be a smartass, in reality, he knows that he's wrong. Okay, but he's gonna sprinkle in, some, he's gonna be deceptive, man.
Because the Genesis 10 table doesn't really tell you. When people get these breakdowns of, Noah had basically a Chinese-looking son, a white son, and a black son. They kind of sometimes do. That's really oversimplification from, thousands of years ago when you got modern people groups and people. It's just, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes people do that. But Japheth sometimes is associated with the Europeans a lot of times, right? Doesn't mean that's really oversimplistic. But so the moderates will do that. The one Westers got Esau, and that began with the commandment keepers in 1919, because we got documentation going all the way back to the one Westers that they did the Esau thing too. Now, why is that helpful? You didn't know that Esau and the Edomites are one of the main enemies of the Israelites in the Bible. In fact, there's a whole book about them. And I'm going to prove right now that this specifically talks about them. Are you ready? The pride of thine heart. Everybody knows the white man's proud.
That's right.
Just look at who smirks. When you think of a smirking person, it's got to be a white guy. You guys saw Nicholas Sim, man, he's smirking. That's what they're so arrogant. Everybody knows that. This is clear. You already know. We're talking about some proud man. It's got to be. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Now I'm going to stop here because I want to actually tell you what this is about. In all reality, there's a kingdom south of Israel called Edom. Not a big people as far as numerous, but they were way up high in the mountains and the rocks. And on the backside, you can't get back in there. It's an impenetrable fortress. They love to live in these rocks. It's very difficult to defeat them. So because of that, they're like, we can't be defeated. We have an impenetrable situation. Like, you're not going to be able to get us out of here, right? And so that's really what's going on. What God is about to say is like, oh, you think you're safe in a cave? You're not safe in a cave, man. You could be high. I'm going to get you. That's what he's saying there. The pride of thine heart had deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. But since this is actually about white people whose habitation is high, we know white people love to build skyscrapers and cities. We know they sit up there overlooking the city, all the peons and the plebes. Have you seen Batman? That's what they do. They're looking all up there, looking down on everybody. And the clefts of the rock who habitation. Well, everyone knows white people came out of caves, and they still love it up there in their skyscrapers. I'm not kidding you, by the way. The habitation is high is translated as white people's skyscrapers, under a One West interpretation. And if you laugh, they'll say, you're just not spiritual. You're just not spiritual. That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Do you see how the actual historical interpretation makes sense of the Edomites saying, I can't get out, you can't dislodge me. And God is saying, you about to get dislodged. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, Romans, symbol of the eagle, Nazis, symbol of the eagle, United States, symbol of the eagle. Oh, and almost all the countries in the ancient Near East use the symbol of the eagle. It's a common symbol for power. It's not just, we just know the Romans and the Nazis in the United States. Do you guys know Benjamin Franklin wanted the national bird to be a turkey? You guys probably heard of it. It's true, he really did. I guess he wasn't an Edomite. He wanted a turkey. But so, or he was trying to hide the fact he was an Edomite. So, this symbolic identification as proof, these are powerful Edomites, is the way they look at it. Even though Assyria, same thing, the ancient Near East used the eagle as a symbol, right? Because it's the bird of prey, right? I'm about to swoop down and get you. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence I will bring thee down, saith the Lord. Here's where it gets weird, and then we'll do Q&A. They teach that when the United States landed on the moon, if they even believe in that, the reason they said the eagle was landed is because of this passage. And the nest among the stars is the International Space Station. Kid you not. So this is a prophecy against the United States of America. That's what this prophecy is. And so a lot of times they'll say, when was Obadiah 1, 3, and 4 fulfilled? And they think it's like a gotcha question. They think they got us with saying that. Because that's the way they interpret it is bringing down the United States of America. That's what it's about. But it's really about Edom. And guess what? There are no more ethnically distinct Edomites. They were destroyed numerous times over. The last time we even see one mentioned is Herod of Idumea. Idumea is the Greek way to say Edom. After that, we don't really see them pop up. We don't know where they were. They're gone. This is fulfilled. And their dwelling place in Petra, it was like a ghost town until archaeologists discovered it and they said, oh, this sounds like biblical prophecy fulfilled. And it was.
All right, so let's go into this, man. Let's go into that. All right, so we're just gonna recognize E for who he is. All right, which vocab, even though he was being a smartass, it's true. That's true. E is the so-called white man. Now they can try to pass the buck, but we all know who E is, man. Genesis 25 and 25, it says, and the first came out red all over like in hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. So E, right, is the elder, and Jacob is the younger. So we came out after E, right? And that's one of the reasons why E has that entitlement. Because he believes, oh well, I should have the birthright. But what did you do? You sold the birthright. You fucking idiot. And now you have people like Vocab trying to basically trying to defend what E is saying. Why? Because this guy's getting paid, man. Somebody's paying him. I wouldn't doubt if he is a member of the blank blank blank. You can which has been speculated. We don't have exact. Oh, never mind. Yes, we do. We do have exact proof. There is a video out there in the internet speaking about how he got in contact with the blank blank blank, or rather the blank 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 got in contact with him. So Salaki, it's already confirmed. This nigga an agent. Verse 26, and agent of chaos. It says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. So that's the so-called white man. He loved hunting. He loved killing. What is Jake like doing? What is the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indian, and Haitian like to do? Chill. Right now, of course, 2/3 of Israel that they act like a bunch of damn demons, but you also have the 1/3. You also have the 144,000. These people are the calmest, most law-abiding citizens around. And you get told that a lot. People tell me a lot. I like being around you. Even heathens, they'll say, I like being around you because you're calm. You know what I mean? You see, with E, you don't know what's about to happen. Your ass gotta walk on eggshells. You gotta, be looking over your shoulder. But see, with the hopeful elect, we have a very calming spirit. So even the heathen, is like, man, I'd rather sit next to Jake. When you go to a restaurant, and you have the so-called white man come in with his family. You got 20 people. All the other nations are like, damn, there goes the neighborhood, right? Because E is the new nigga, right? But what happens when these other nations, go to a restaurant and it's nothing but Jake? Okay, the vibe is good. Everything's cool. Now they may be a little nervous, you know what I mean? But after a while, they're good. They're like, okay, I can get used to this. All right, verse 28 says, and Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. So, he was out doing the most. Now, and if you look, now he all tired. And through the spirit, when E came, he smelled when he smelled that pottage, like, like when you're real hungry, you haven't eaten all day. That's how E came. But E came like he hasn't ate in days. You know what I mean? Like when he pulled up on Jacob, he was famished. All right. It says, and Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And see, the meat wasn't even cooked. Jacob just put that meat in there. Meat was still red. It says, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. So really, you just got finessed. Which the word Jacob goes into the word a supplanter. It's like I had to think of the word. It says, and Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? So you did it. You sold it. All right. If you got a car, right? Let's say you got somebody who's selling a car, and they say, hey, I got rent. I didn't pay my rent for 4 months. I gotta pay $5,000 in rent. And let's say he got a $50,000 car, and he says, well, look, I don't know how I'm gonna make it. All right, let's say you got the $5,000 on you. You're like, hey, I'll buy that off of you for $5,000. As soon as he agrees, as soon as he writes your name on the title, all right, that's you. That's you. Now later on, when he gets on his feet, 3-4 months later, whatever the case is, when he gets back good, that don't mean he get the car back, man. And that's E. E thought he was gonna sell his birthright, and somehow he was gonna be all right. Verse 33, Genesis 25 and 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day, and he sware unto him. All right, word is bond. Like Jake like to say up there in New York, word is bond. So you put yourself in this situation, man. That's why, hey, Barakatha Yahaba Hashem Yahushai, he set us up like this. He set us up like this. He set up Jacob to receive what? I mean, everything. Everything. We're going to get what we've been promised, and also what E has been promised. We're going to receive the fatness of the earth. We're going to receive the sword. Right? Are we not going to be able to exact revenge on our enemies? Are we not going to be able to basically set the tone, man? Are we not going to rule with an iron fist? Right? And a rod of iron. Okay, we are. Verse 34, then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Yeah, so he was grunting. He ate that up. He ate all that. He ate the raw meat in the lentil soup. Which lentils are great. Lentils taste great. If you brothers have never had lentils, I suggest you make some lentil soup. Little chicken stock. Pour some lentils in there. Put some kale, some carrot, some sweet potato. You know what I mean? A little meat, if you prefer to have meat in there. That's good stuff. But see, he couldn't wait. All he had to do was wait, 30 minutes? Let the food cook. Because, back in the old days, they didn't have, little cans of, ravioli or something like that. It took a little time to prepare everything. So he couldn't wait. Okay? And now look at him. Now flash forward to 2022, you got Vocab defending you. He's a horrible defender. He says he defends the gospel, but you're not defending the good news. We're defending the good news, starting off with the elder apostles of Great Millstone, from the elder apostles to Tahar on down. All right, with the least of men. Okay? Me being a younger man, I'm part of the least of men. But our job is important, man. Each sincere brother in this truth has an important job to do, man. To keep bringing this word out and to keep defending this gospel. All right, so Lord's will, this was edifying. Kahallah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Salutations to you, hopeful elect Akim out there who are pushing this word in sincerity and in faith. All right, and I want to thank Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash for having the spirit put on me to make this video. You brothers got to keep, I don't usually go on this clown's channel, but every once in a while it's good to see what the enemy is doing, man, because this guy is our enemy. Make no mistake. I mean, you can see the way that he's operating. He being facetious. He's got different I'll probably watch this video right here at the top that he just dropped 8 hours ago. I'll probably look through this. There's all types of holes. There's all types of holes in what he's saying, man. He always wants to talk about, what we teach. But what we teach is foolproof. There's really nothing you can do against it. Okay? So once again, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. The water, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. The water, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.